Good morning. Um, my connection seems a little unstable today, uh, so we'll see. We'll see if we have trouble or if everything goes smoothly. Every day is something different, right? Um, like my heater goes on. It's actually pretty warm in here today. Um, so, yeah, here we are. Um, it would be Thursday, yes. And weather is a little warmer, so that's pretty good. Um, I'm hopefully going to get a little work done. Um, but I think I'm at a two-person stage, so probably not really till the weekend am I going to get things finished. But that's okay. I do need to get the Christmas lights back up, and this is where I get to find out if I did things right or not. Um, I put up hooks for them, um, and I tried to be careful to put them where they were before, but who knows? So maybe I'll do that today and get that done. I'm also trying to get some things done for the holidays. Still, I made some soap yesterday, which haven't in quite a while, and it's always kind of a learning experience again when I haven't done something like that for a bit. I do have everything written down somewhere, which is good because I used to just remember it all in my head. I don't recommend that because then you really feel very panicky because you're pretty sure you didn't remember it right. Even when you did, you just don't think you did. So yeah, all that stuff is. And I found the little notebook where I used to write it down right when I started. So I started doing this when uh, my son was born. So 25, 26 years ago. Um, and I found a little notebook, which was beat up. Um, but now it's online, so I can't lose that. It's definitely gonna be around. I just have to access it some way, which is usually my phone, and then I leave my phone somewhere, so that's that's a whole nother thing. But that is a blessing to have things up in the cloud, right? So you can reach up into the cloud and pull that information out whenever you need it. Um, and we use that sort of feature a lot. So we have like a family grocery list that everyone can access and put things on, and it works very well when it works. Sometimes it doesn't update, and then you end up with you know 5 different copies of the grocery list in 5 different people's phones, and that has led to some um, kind of hilarious situations. But um, what are you going to do? It's just groceries. So, good morning, Deb and Dora and Susan and Ruth. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you are getting ready. I'm beginning to feel a little panicky about the holiday coming up. I'm never really prepared. Um, I always feel um, not. Uh, I don't know. The closer I get to Christmas, the further I am, the more sure I am about the gifts that I buy people. But the closer I get, the more unsure I get. And I'm pretty sure that I've forgotten things or that it was a terrible idea in the first place. Um, and then, of course, this year, well, I usually do a lot of online shopping just because I'm not a big shopper. I don't really like shopping. So, like, I prefer not to go to a store. Um, and going to the store is generally um, kind of a not a great experience for me. I find that they don't usually have what I need. I don't know. I think I feel like I have really bad luck with them. I think I know what I want and I go and they don't have it. So um, online shopping is great for me, except again, there's that uncertainty of whether it's even going to get here, which is not great. Of course, now everyone's grown up enough to not panic if things come in a little late. But I don't know if they are or not. My son, my youngest, was very worried because the thing that he was planning for um, his brother. I can say this because there's no way they're watching this and or will watch this, so it's okay to talk about it. Um, it wasn't going to be. I don't think it wasn't going to come till February or something. Um, and yeah, that was. He was very sad about that. But I said, we all grown ups. It'll work it out. Print out a picture of it. It'll be fine. Um, so that is a concern, right? Making sure you get your things ordered and get them in. The UPS is overwhelmed. Um, we have something that my daughter ordered on uh, the weekend after Thanksgiving. Um, that it took UPS more than a week to pick up, and then it's still in the system somewhere. I don't know where it is. We're not sure. No one's sure. And then I've had, or post office experiences, which are, hair raising. I've had people put letters here in Delaware City Post Office to come to me that took a month to get here because everything goes right into the system. Nothing is hand canceled unless it has to be, right? Which then slows everything down. So if you send things like cards or odd size things, business envelopes and things like that will, I guess, generally speaking, go right through the machines. But the things that are oddly shaped, they end up going their own way. And then someone does have to hand cancel them somewhere along the line. And it could take a month, apparently. So if you're sending Christmas cards, they may turn out to be Happy New Year cards, which is not, it's not so bad. Um, so, yeah, what are you going to do? This is definitely a year of um, not worrying about things like that, right? Um, those things which seemed so aggravating and other years might have really sent you off in quite an anger. I hope they don't disturb you that way this year. Um, I think one of the good things about everything being so peculiar and weird this year is that it's almost we almost accept that everything is going to be different, right? So it doesn't surprise us when things take a month to get here, and it doesn't. I mean, why shouldn't it be that way this year? And in truth, I mean that's kind of the way it is, right? Everything in our society is tied together. So if we're having trouble in one section, everything else is going to have like a cascade effect. So if you've got people who are ill and out of work and it's slowing down everything in the system. So all of these things are connected. The delivery, there's not things in the market because we can't, get the things to the market because there's not enough trucks or there's not enough this. Um, and then there's not enough delivery people, and there's not enough, everything gets slowed down. So I think if that's one of the great lessons that we learned this year, is how connected we all are, and how um, when we having problems in one area, they are going to ripple out to everything. And we can't really say, oh, well, it's not my problem, because it will be your problem one way or another. Um, and that maybe is the biggest truth of all. If there's an area in our society, in our economy, in our everything that is not doing well, we are all going to, feel the pain from that eventually. So it's in our best interest to try to make sure that everything works together, right? And that, as they say, a rising tide lifts all boats, so that we don't have different sections of the economy, or the society, and there aren't people who feel that they don't matter, that they are disposable, or not worth the same treatment as other people in society. So let's work on that. I mean, you might say, like, what could you do about that? And you might feel like there isn't that much that you can do about it, but you can change your expectation, right? Being aware of these things and not accepting them. Um, it's a shift in consciousness, right? So you can do that. You can hold that belief. You can pass on that belief. Um, and that's how things change, right? A little bit at a time. Um, our consciousness now of what we think is normal um, is different than it was 50 years ago. The things, it's funny, if you've ever watched old movies, and this happens a lot sort of this time of year, because it seems like I watch a lot of movies with my kids in the winter, and when they were younger, not so much anymore, because we've seen a lot of the movies, but watching older movies with the kids, um, it's fun, but it's also it kind of makes me cringe inside when I see some of these older movies, even from 20 years ago, and some of the things that they say, and some of the attitudes that they're projecting, and my kids will look at me like, "Mom, what?" That's really offensive. Why would they say that? And I'm like, hey, I don't know. And then you go back further. Oh my gosh, go back to like Spencer Tracy movies, and some of the movies from like the 40s and the 50s. Oh my goodness. Just amazing. Looking at that through our lens today, it seems incredible, right? So I think, what will movies be like in 50 years, right? What are my kids going to look back and go, oh my God, their kids are going to go, this was terrible. You people were terrible. What kind of a thing is that to say? So we're on the ladder, right? We're moving up in our consciousness. Um, Maybe not as fast as we'd like. Maybe some of us are like up here, and there's a lot of this stuff down here. Um, Not everything's going to be at the same pace, and you may feel like you've kind of outgrown your your society in some ways, and perhaps you have. Um, but it catches up, and you know we're moving in the right direction. So it's all right. Okay, yoga. Um, that was kind of that talk was all over the place. There you go. Let's do some asana, um, and move around a bit. Do some breathing. Let's do some breathing before we get started. So I'm still really stuffed up. And I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's the heat. I think it's the heat. We've had the heat on a lot, and we have radiators, which I think dry out everything in the house, including me. So I feel pretty congested in the mornings when I get up. But let's sit and breathe. I'm going to do a little kind of that, what I might call Agnisara light, right? So not really working hard, but moving through the diaphragm, drawing in and out. So the difference with this, instead of we're drawing in as we expel the air, right? So we're not inhaling and exhaling. We're exhaling and then we're drawing that in. So it makes sense if you think about it, because we got to let the air out so we can pull in the diaphragm, right? And then as we inhale, we're relaxing, letting the lungs fill up again. So exhaling, inhaling back, exhale. So just doing a little more of that. This is kind of just a gentle movement. We're not drawing in tight. I think of it as like the bellows. If you've ever seen like bellows on like a fireplace, those little ones, um, you're pressing in and then you're bringing back out. And just like the bellows that you use on a fireplace, this fires up metabolism. It makes you'll bring heat into the body, and you'll feel that after a little bit. You'll start to feel a lot of heat through the body, um, and that's good, right? That's a good thing, especially in the winter. Um, we want to heat you up and keep you heated. So this Agnisara type breathing is very great for if you're really cold, like if it's cold in your house, or you've been sitting somewhere for a bit and you feel like your body temperature's a little bit lower, or you just don't feel, you've got really cold fingers. My husband, he's always walking around the house touching me with his cold fingers. I don't know why that man has such cold fingers, but he does all the time, no matter what he's doing. As soon as it gets wintertime, his fingers are ice cold. So that is a way to kind of bring that circulation, get things moving around. So you can stop doing that. If you've continued this whole time, that's good for you. But yeah, you don't want to, I wouldn't continue for a long time, but maybe 5 minutes or so of it is plenty. Maybe not even that much. Maybe 10 rounds. That's probably good. Okay. Sitting up. Relax the breath. Relax the shoulders. Sitting up tall. And then head drops down. Lifting up, keep lifting. The chin lifts. And then head back to center. Take a breath, moving the head over to the right. Back up and moving left. Back up to center. Let's bring the arms up over the head. And you can have them apart or you could interlace the fingers. It's up to you. I'm going to have mine apart. Take a breath, and then we're moving to the right. Back to center, moving left. Back to center. Gaze up and lean back a little. And then back up. Let's bring the arms goalpost. Take a couple of breaths here. And then a breath in. On the exhale, turning the shoulders to the right. Back to center and moving to the left. Back to center. Bring the arms down. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Gazing up. And then folding forward. And then back up. Tabletop. Sitting back on the heels. Child's pose. Moving back up. Tabletop again, then downward dog. Stepping the feet up to the hands. Let's be in a fold. And you can have bent knees here, just see how it feels. Rising up. Let's bring the arms high. And then down by your side. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, we're stepping back with the right. Drop the knee. Arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale, high plank. And lower. Inhale, we're just lifting up head and chest. Then lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. And once more, lifting up. Lower down. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Take one more breath. On the exhale, we're stepping that right foot up. Drop your left knee, arms overhead. And then hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, step back with the left. Drop your knee, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, step back, downward dog. Moving forward on the inhale, high plank, and then lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. And once more. Lifting up. And lower. Back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Take one more breath. On the exhale, stepping left foot up. Drop your knee, arms overhead, and then hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, arms overhead. And back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Stepping to the side. So facing the side of the mat, hands at the waist or the hips, take a deep breath, relax the shoulders, and then we're leaning forward. So just lowering down as far as possible. You can have hands down on the legs, down on the floor, somewhere in between. It's your choice. But we're trying to bring that weight into the front, right? So the front part of the feet, the heels should feel kind of light. Hands back to the waist. Engage the thighs, so use that strength in the legs. Lifting up. Take a breath. If you're ever lightheaded, just bring your hands up over your head. And then we're going to turn. facing the front again. We've got right leg out, left leg behind. It doesn't have to be really wide. My stance here is usually pretty wide, but it doesn't have to be. It could be pretty narrow. That feels better for you. Hands behind, interlace the fingers. Draw the shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Fold forward. So we're folding to the center, which means that shoulder, right shoulder, is kind of aiming toward the right knee. And here you may again have bend in the knee, that's fine, right? Hamstrings are a little tight. Giving a bend there will allow you some more room. Then rising up, back foot steps to the front, arms overhead, and back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Another step to the side. So this one we're going to have hands behind. So you could do a variety of things. You can interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders back. You could grab wrists or walk the hands up, maybe forearms or elbows. Your call here, whatever you like. Take a deep breath and then fold forward. Using that strength in the legs, rise up, release the hands, arms overhead. And back down, facing the front again. This time left leg is out, right leg behind. Interlace the fingers, deep breath, fold forward. Press down the left foot to rise up. Back foot meets the front, arms overhead. And back to mountain. Breath in and out. So let's do a couple balance while we're standing here. We can start with tree. So standing on the left foot, right foot starts maybe here. You can balance, just lift up the toes. If you feel more steady, I don't feel super steady today, but that's okay. Bring that foot up to the calf or higher, right? We just don't want to be pressing right against that side of the knee. You can be a little bit above or below, that's fine. You've got the knee rotating out to the side. Steady gaze at something eye level or higher. You can have hands to center to start, right? This is a good way to just get that steadiness. If you do feel pretty good, arms can extend, but it's okay to stay right here too. That's that focus wants to be at the center, right? That's how to make this a very stable pose. Keeping strength in the standing leg and the lifted leg, and then set it back down. We can switch sides. Same thing, just other side. So still rotating the knee out to the side, nice and upright with the body. Steady gaze. Keep the breath moving. Trying to stay focused. And then just set the foot back down. Bicycle legs. Remember not to hold your breath or clench your teeth in balance poses. It's tempting. Sometimes we're so kind of hyper focused on what we're doing that we forget to breathe. We forget to do anything. We're so tensed up. But we don't want to do that. You do want to use muscle tension and strength through the legs and even probably the torso to some extent. But up around the head, the face, even the shoulders should be relatively relaxed. So that may come with time. And then let's step out into Warrior 3. So we're standing here, we got a little room in front of us. Bring hands together. Stepping out with the left foot. Doesn't have to be a big step. We're just trying to shift, just like we do when we walk. We shift from one side to the other. That step shifts our weight into the left foot, and then we can lift. So you might lift a lot, you might just lift a little, right? But we're trying to lean forward as much as we lift. And it's kind of can be hard to see what you're doing here, and that's okay. Just use your best sort of perception. Trying to stay balanced. When you first start doing those poses like Warrior 3, a lot of times you are very off, right? Set the foot back down. But as you do it more, you'll become more aware. You have more body awareness. And then after you've done it for a while, you'll be surprised maybe to see yourself, if you ever see a mirror or a picture of you doing it, that you're probably pretty close to balanced. Right? We figure it out as we go. Take a breath. And then stepping out, this time with the right. And then lifting up. And you may have one side that is steadier than the other. Hands can stay at center, or you could bring them out if that helps you with your balance. Don't be frustrated, right? If one side is a lot harder to manage than the other, we just work away at it. And then set your foot down. Back foot steps up, arms overhead. And back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Let's come down to a seat. Soles of the feet together, sitting up tall. Take a deep breath and then lean forward. So when it comes to balance, and really all the poses, but I think balance especially, we tend to get very frustrated. We focus a lot on what we aren't doing instead of what we are doing. And that will tell you a lot about your practice, right? Is your practice kind? Are you understanding with yourself? Or are you constantly running negative commentary, right? Come on back up. Both legs out in front. If you've been doing this for some time, I got to believe you've got some positive commentary. And let's flex the feet. So point and flex, right? You wouldn't stay at it if it was just negative. So if you find the negative creeps in, just let it go. If you can't, right? If your mom probably told you, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you can't think of, if you can't hold a positive thought, just try to hold no thought at all. Just move through the poses. No thought, no concerns. Going one way and then the other. And then let's hug this right knee in. Left leg is long. Lowering. So the right foot is next to the left leg. Take a deep breath. And then we're folding forward, reaching for the foot. And back up. If you find negative thoughts creeping in, switch the legs here. Just bring back, go back to the breath. Focus on the breath. Focus on anything. But release the thoughts. And then lower out to the side. Take a deep breath in and fold forward. So negative thoughts don't really serve us in any way, but especially in yoga, they're no use to you. All they do is discourage us, make us feel bad, right? There's no purpose to those thoughts. Back up. Both legs out in front, one more fold. Take a deep breath and fold forward. You may have a slight bend, so in these forward folds, you can have a little bend in the knees. If you feel very tight hamstrings, that can give you a little more room to try to bring that torso down toward the legs. And back up. Let's bring right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm behind you. Sit up tall, take a deep breath, and twist. Back to center. Switch, take a deep breath, and twist. And back to center. Bend the knees. Soles of the feet are on the mat. We can lower down or you could rock back. However you want to get there, we are resting on the mat. Keep breathing. Get comfortable here. We're going to do supported bridge. Wait, oh yeah, no, I do have a block. So we can do supported bridge. If you want to do a regular bridge and then supported bridge, by all means, but I'm just going to do supported bridge. Heels back, close to the body. We're going to lift up, bring that block under, and find a comfortable resting place. If you need to move the block around to find just the right place, that's all right. of course, if you feel like it, bringing the knees in is always fun here. We're extending them. And then wherever you are, we're going to have feet back down onto the mat. Lift up, remove the block. Let's bring soles of the feet together. Relax here and breathe. Then we're going to move into Shavasana here. If you want to stay like this, you can, or extend the legs. If you want to do anything, any sort of last pose to get settled here, go right ahead. Remember that this is your practice, so you want to do whatever is required for you today. So that is the beauty of steady practice, is you understand what the poses mean for you. What do they do for you? How do they affect your body? So that when you have issues, which we all do, you'll have an idea. Well, I know this pose makes my lower back feel better, or this pose is really good on tight shoulders. And for the most part, generally speaking, what we'll do is kind of an all-around thing. But for each specific person, what I might say is good for tight shoulders might not actually be the perfect thing for you. You may discover that yourself. So feel free to freestyle, to do what you need to do. When we come to our mats, that is what we're doing, right? We're exploring the boundaries of what our body is capable of today and what it requires. Every day is a little different, and you'll feel that, right? We want to become the experts on our bodies. We want to be very aware of how different things affect our bodies, right? So if we have a day where we spend a lot of time sitting and maybe working on the computer or doing any type of work that keeps us very still, we'll have different needs the next day than a day where we work hard or we're doing a lot of walking or carrying things. All of these things will affect us differently the next day, right? So slowly we learn this. We learn what is true about our body and what we can do to help. beginning to move a little, fingers and toes. If you want to stretch to get moving again, that can be helpful. And then making your way up to a seat. Let's bring hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for coming to your mat this morning and for sharing it, your yoga with everyone here today. I hope that you have a very peaceful Thursday. Namaste. Okay, let's move into 5-minute meditation. While we're in this peaceful state of mind. So sitting comfortably on a cushion or just upright. If you want to sit in a chair, that's sometimes very nice to be supported that way. It's all good. Close the eyes, relax. The breath, so just normal breathing, spontaneous breath. And let's find that peaceful center, that calm. Focusing on that peaceful place. Okay, we're back. Um, so there's some yoga and some meditation to start your day. Hopefully, it will put you in a peaceful frame of mind for a good day. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow.